All right, player number 2, Bralen Trice. Let me close this out. Bralen Trice is got dog. No, I didn't. There we go. Bralen Trice from the University of Washington. So let's talk about as far as his snaps. 2021, 194 snaps. 2022, 611, and then last year, and because they had so many extra games, 925. Last year he had 33 tackles, 80 pressures, and 8 sacks. And then 2022 he had 9 sacks. So as a career at Washington, he has 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 total sacks. Bralen Trice, and you look at his RAS score again in the sevens. His weight 245, and he lost weight for the combine to try to run fast. His combine experience was not very good. Didn't take direction very well. He did bad in some of the drills. Ran okay, but the rest of it to me wasn't very good. And I thought he would slide down the draft board because of it. But then when you look at his tape should outweigh his combine situation. But what you think about Bralen Trice, Chris?
Yeah, just hopping on to that combine stuff. Like, I don't know who was in his ear telling him to lose all of that weight, but that was completely unnecessary because you watch the tape and you're like, oh, this dude 270.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and to come to the combine and be in the 240s, it's like, this ain't the same dude, you know?
Right.
And that's not his game. If you're drafting Bralen Trice, you're not drafting him because you think he's a super bendy, you know, fast, off the edge kind of guy. You are drafting him because of his power and the violence that he has in his hands. And that's that's his trump card right there, is the power in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he has some quickness in short areas to kind of get blockers off balance, but his game is straight power and relentlessness. And, you know, he's a guy that, you know, you can easily see become a contributor right away. I don't think he's ever going to be, you know, a 10 sack guy or anything like that, but I think he's going to be one of those rotational guys who, you know, he can really be a catalyst as far as your defensive line, as one of those glue guys that is like, all right, that's the cherry on top. Like, you have your main guy, but this is a dude who could turn up and, you know, rush inside, rush on the outside, and provide you with some, you know, much needed physicality in the run game and also passing downs.
Cool. And to kind of talk about what you talk about the weight wise, I got his weight from PFF on my little note sheet. It says 274. This RAS comes from the combine, 245. Yeah. That's 30 pounds.
That's crazy.
He lost 30 pounds just to try to run fast at the combine. That's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Unnecessary. Now, he has a decent, you know, combine time because it's green, 4.7. 20-yard split is green also, and his agility is green, but it wasn't necessary. The notes I got for him: effort. I got great bend at the point of attack. I said he had a rough combine, but his tape says opposite. And then this last note I got is what's going to make him some money. He has a duffel bag full of pass rush moves. Like he got moves on top of moves. He got speed to power. He can bend at the top of the route. I mean, at the top of the pass rush move. He can dip. He got a spin move. He got a half spin. He got a bunch of pass rush moves that were on display at Washington. And he reminds me of somebody else. And I don't do a lot of player comps, but watching his tape, and if I'm not mistaken, this dude came from Washington also. Joe Tryon Sharinka, or whatever his name.
From the Bucks.
Play with the Bucks. That's who he reminded me of. And I think Joe Tryon came from Washington. I think. Chat box, help me out. Tell me where Joe played college at. I think he played somewhere on the West Coast, but he reminded me a lot of that dude in this pass rush game. But the difference is Bralen can play the run too. So I hopefully he gained that weight back and can play it in the 270s with you know, whatever team decides to pick him up. Man, you know, with us, if we decide to pick him up, I think he'll be one of those guys that can play the edge. He can be a 3 down outside linebacker edge guy, and has the ability, the agility to drop if need be. You know how we deal with Bowser sometimes, and we do those different little blitz combinations or whatever. He can drop and cover the flats. You know, he has the athletic ability to do that. But put the weight back on, man.
Yeah,
definitely. Put the weight back on.
That weight back on. You ain't gonna be a model.
We got one of them already.
Play receiver. What number 7 or whatever number.